Today's tech landscape moves at algorithmic speed, where AI breakthroughs and funding surges reshape industries overnight. Staying ahead requires parsing signal from noise in real-time developments.
Kimi's AI company has experienced a dramatic revenue explosion while securing massive new funding. Over the past 20 days alone, their K2, 5 large language model generated more revenue than the entire company did throughout all of 2025, according to sources familiar with the matter. This surge is driven by explosive growth in global paying users and API usage, with overseas revenue now overtaking domestic income as international subscribers multiply. The company recently secured over $700 million in new funding, with this news breaking on February 24, 2026. For builders and operators, this demonstrates that international adoption can rapidly outpace domestic growth for AI products with strong technical foundations. Investors should note that revenue acceleration of this magnitude signals product-market fit at global scale, potentially resetting valuation expectations for similar AI companies. Over the next 24 hours, monitor how competitors respond to this funding announcement and revenue disclosure. In the coming 30 days, watch for Kimi's expansion plans and whether they maintain this growth trajectory. Over 90 days, observe if this triggers similar funding rounds for other AI infrastructure companies. From AI revenue acceleration to how companies are implementing these tools practically.
Sunrai, a life sciences AI company, has partnered with AWS to build a robust ML ops framework using Amazon's SageMaker AI that accelerates precision medicine trials while maintaining the traceability and reproducibility required in regulated environments. Published on February 23, 2026, on the AWS ML blog, this collaboration addresses critical challenges in drug development by implementing a scalable, compliant AI infrastructure. The framework enables Sunrai to streamline clinical trial processes, reduce time to market for therapies, and ensure regulatory compliance through automated documentation and version control. This partnership represents a significant advancement in applying AI to healthcare, where data integrity and audit trails are paramount. For builders, this demonstrates how cloud-native ML ops can bridge the gap between rapid innovation and strict regulatory requirements, offering a blueprint for other life sciences companies. Operators gain a proven model for deploying AI in sensitive environments without compromising on governance or scalability. Investors should note the growing market for AI-driven clinical trial optimization, estimated to reach billions as precision medicine adoption accelerates. Over the next 24 hours, monitor AWS's announcements for similar healthcare partnerships. In the next 30 days, watch for Sunrise trial outcomes or expanded collaborations. Within 90 days, look for regulatory updates on AI in clinical research and competing platforms from Google or Microsoft. From AI streamlining drug trials to another tech giant's funding surge.
AI's drive for efficiency through novel number formats is hitting a wall in scientific computing, where precision can't be compromised. A February 23, 2026, IEEE Spectrum article details how engineers are exploring every possible way to save computation time and energy, including shortening the number of bits used to represent data. But these AI-optimized formats don't necessarily translate to scientific applications. The stakes are high as the AI boom fuels an explosion of new digital number representations aimed at reducing computational load and energy consumption. However, scientific computing, used in fields like climate modeling, drug discovery, and physics simulations, requires absolute numerical accuracy that these truncated formats can't guarantee. This creates a fundamental divergence in hardware and software optimization paths between AI inference and scientific research. For builders, this means developing specialized computing stacks or hybrid systems that can toggle between high-precision and efficient modes. Operators in research institutions and tech companies must now evaluate whether to maintain separate infrastructure for AI versus scientific workloads. Investors should watch for startups bridging this gap or hardware firms offering configurable precision units. Over the next 24 hours, monitor reactions from major cloud providers and chipmakers like NVIDIA or AMD regarding their scientific computing roadmaps. In the next 90 days, look for research papers or product launches specifically addressing mixed precision computing for science. Also, track whether any scientific breakthroughs are delayed or compromised due to computational limitations, signaling market pressure for solutions. From AI's numerical shortcuts facing scientific limits to how another company leverages AI for medical breakthroughs.
Hugging Face has released smolagents, an open-source Python library that makes building AI agents accessible with just a few lines of code. Published on February 23, 2026, this framework integrates with Amazon Web Services managed services to create multi-model agentic AI solutions. The library is designed to streamline development, allowing builders to focus on application logic rather than infrastructure. This announcement comes from AWS's official machine learning blog, indicating strong partnership support between the two companies. For operators, this reduces deployment complexity and accelerates time to market for AI applications. Investors should note the growing ecosystem around simplified AI tooling, which lowers barriers to entry and could expand the market. Builders gain a standardized approach to agent development, potentially reducing technical debt and improving maintainability. Watch for adoption metrics in the next 90 days, particularly in enterprise pilot projects. Monitor how smolagents integrates with other AWS services like SageMaker and Bedrock. Track community contributions to the open-source repository for signs of ecosystem growth. From simplified AI agent development to the limitations of current AI in scientific domains.
Artificial intelligence is fundamentally transforming how organizations defend against cyber threats, but it's creating new risks that demand careful management. Published on February 23, 2026, in IEE Spectrum, this analysis comes from a top-tier source and scores 11.93 for productivity-focused channels, with even higher scores of 13.19 for strategic innovation audiences. The piece examines how AI accelerates threat detection and enables real-time automated responses against increasingly sophisticated attacks, while also highlighting the complex vulnerabilities these same systems introduce. For builders, this means developing AI security tools with robust testing and explainability features to prevent adversarial manipulation. Operators must implement layered defense strategies where AI augments rather than replaces human oversight in critical security decisions. Investors should prioritize companies that address both offensive AI capabilities and defensive resilience, particularly those with transparent risk management frameworks. Over the next 24 hours, monitor emerging reports of AI-powered attack vectors being exploited in the wild. In the next 30 days, watch for regulatory guidance on AI security standards from agencies like NIST and CISA. By 90 days, track enterprise adoption rates of AI-enhanced security platforms versus traditional solutions to gauge market penetration. From AI's dual role in cybersecurity defense and risk to how multi-model frameworks enable more sophisticated agentic systems.
A new robotics paper published on February 24, 2026, analyzes two distinct approaches to modeling aerial continuum manipulators, decoupled versus coupled formulations, and examines both their open-loop and closed-loop behaviors. The study, available on RZIV under ID 2602, 18684, systematically compares how these modeling choices affect the performance of these flexible, snake-like robotic arms attached to aerial platforms. For builders, this research provides critical insights into design trade-offs. Decoupled models offer simplicity but may miss important dynamic interactions, while coupled models capture more realism at the cost of computational complexity. Operators should note that closed-loop control performance varies significantly between approaches, impacting real-world deployment reliability in applications like inspection or manipulation in constrained environments. Investors should watch for startups leveraging these advanced models to create more capable aerial manipulation systems for industrial and emergency response markets. Over the next 24 hours, monitor RZIV for related robotics preprints. In the next 30 days, look for experimental validations of these models in lab settings. Within 90 days, watch for industry partnerships or prototype demonstrations applying these findings to real-world aerial manipulation tasks. From aerial robotics modeling advances to the practical challenges of securing AI systems.
Hexagon has dramatically accelerated its AI model production through a strategic collaboration with Amazon Web Services. The industrial technology company used Amazon SageMaker HyperPod's infrastructure to pre-train state-of-the-art segmentation models, as detailed in an AWS machine learning blog post published February 23, 2026. This partnership demonstrates how specialized cloud infrastructure can transform AI development timelines for industrial applications. For builders, this signals that complex AI training is becoming more accessible through managed cloud services, reducing the barrier to entry for sophisticated computer vision applications. Operators should note that this approach enables faster iteration cycles for industrial AI models, potentially accelerating deployment in manufacturing, construction, and geospatial applications. Investors should watch for similar partnerships between industrial companies and cloud providers as AI becomes integral to physical industries. Over the next 24 hours, monitor Hexagon's official communications for additional details on their AI roadmap. In the next 30 days, watch for similar announcements from other industrial companies adopting cloud-based AI training infrastructure. Over 90 days, track adoption metrics for SageMaker HyperPod across industrial sectors to gauge market traction. From industrial AI acceleration to aerial robotics performance analysis.
Microsoft has appointed a new gaming chief who's taking a hard line on AI quality. Ashish Sharma, announced as Microsoft's new gaming chief on February 23, 2026, immediately declared she has no tolerance for bad AI in gaming experiences. This comes despite scrutiny over her lack of traditional gaming industry experience, with critics questioning whether she can navigate the complex $200 billion global gaming market. Sharma's appointment follows Microsoft's massive $68.7 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard and their aggressive push into AI-powered gaming through Xbox Cloud Gaming and Game Pass services. For builders, this signals Microsoft will prioritize polished AI integration over experimental features, potentially slowing innovation but raising quality standards. Operators should expect stricter AI review processes and more emphasis on user experience metrics rather than raw technical capabilities. Investors should watch for potential shifts in Microsoft's gaming division profitability, as quality control measures may increase development costs. Over the next 24 hours, monitor initial reactions from major game studios and AI developers in Microsoft's ecosystem. In the next 30 days, watch for any policy changes to Xbox developer guidelines regarding AI implementation. Over 90 days, track whether Microsoft's gaming revenue growth maintains its current 15% annual pace under new leadership.
Audit your AI toolchain this week. Identify one automation gap to address before quarterly planning. Proactive adaptation beats reactive scrambling.